Hello and welcome to Redeemer Review. It's a quick look at what's happening in our church and our community this week. I'm Phil Kuhn, and next to me is Billy Brinkerhuff.
Hi, Phil.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. We're at week number 4, so we've been a month into this already.
1 month.
Yeah.
Feels like a habit.
It's a pretty good habit, I would say. We got some exciting stuff to talk about. Of course, we're talking about Sunday's theme. We have this week's verse, our announcements, and then we have an interview today that we're going to be showing people that we're excited about.
We do have the interview this week. I finally got it put together. I got all the goofy parts stripped out, edited, so you'll see Aaliyah and I laughing. You won't know what the laughter's about, but the interview is pretty good.
Very good. Excited to check that out. Diving into this week's, we're going to be talking about a theme, but first I want to kind of recap last week's sermon theme, which was creation. And I thought Pastor Bruckner did a great job of explaining that to us, making it very clear what's right and what's wrong.
Yes, It was a very impactful message. I know the youth group from our conversation last night with them. It was a great message for them. They heard a lot of good things. A lot of very important questions came out of that. That we are, God breathed His breath into us. We are created and loved by Him.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of that is just that we all have a purpose. We were all created for His specific purpose for us.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
And that ties back to his first sermon where, God has this grand plan, and this, like he said in the children's message, this beautiful tapestry that He's weaving with all of us. We don't always see it. We see the back of the tapestry, so we don't understand what He's creating. We see the messy parts, but He sees the beautiful creation that is His, and we're a part of it.
So what can we expect for this week's theme?
Well, this week's theme, let's look at what we've got here. It's the saddest chapter in the Bible, Genesis 3, the fall. We're looking at how sin entered God's perfect creation. Last week he talked about how God created this world and everything perfectly, and then we kind of mess it up.
That's right. And diving into this week's verse, of course, we look into our sinful selves, but as we see in Isaiah, there is hope. And here's what it says in Isaiah 53, verse 6. All of us like sheep have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way, but the Lord has caused the iniquity of us all to fall on Him. That's powerful.
It is very powerful. Yep. It reminds me of what I've been talking with the youth group for the past few weeks about confession. Yeah. That God understands we're going to make mistakes. That's why He sent Jesus to be our Savior. He loves us. He's going to take that sin on for us. All we have to do is have faith in Him and say, I'm sorry.
That's right. So looking forward to that coming up this Sunday, which is exciting. So you want to dive into some announcements?
Let's take care of those announcements.
Okay. First of all, we've got choir. Ann Work is putting together a choir that will sing 2 or 3 Sundays a month. The good news is no experience is needed. So if that's something you're interested in, contact Ann Work for that. And then also the Quilters. The last meeting of the year is going to be this Monday at 1 p.m.
Yeah, they're wrapping up for the year. They'll be taking off the winter months. We have quilt dedication coming up soon, cool. So we'll have those quilts laid out in the sanctuary, have those dedicated for the purpose that they were created for.
Very cool. Before we dive into this interview, is there anything else we need to talk about today?
I think we've got everything covered. I'm looking forward to having Pastor Bruckner back again for another sermon. And I think coming up, we're going to be having some interviews with some folks related to the call process. So we know that Pastor Mike retired. We are looking for a new pastor. The call committee's been formed. That is our elders board. I'm going to have an interview coming up sometime in the next couple of weeks with Bill Alberting and Adam Esserline, find out how that's going.
Yeah, that's important information. And again, if you have something that you'd like to talk about with us, if you want to be interviewed, make sure you email it to us and we'll get in contact with you. We would love to do an interview with you. Ready for the interview?
I am ready.
All right. Action.
Welcome. We're here in Redeemer Sanctuary because we just finished praise band practice. And Aaliyah Milliken, that's who I'm sitting here with, is a member of our praise band. Actually, she's one of our lead singers. How do you like being in our praise band?
I love it. It is a great opportunity for me. I was involved a lot in music in my old church with choirs, cantoring, playing piano. So being able to be here at Redeemer and sing in the praise band is really a blessing.
So you started attending here at Redeemer about how many years ago?
I started attending here in 2017, so about 3 years ago. And it was my freshman year at Grace. That's what brought me to Redeemer. I go to Grace, and I love it here. And the people here are some of the best people I've ever met. freshman year of college, I did not have a car on campus. My parents didn't want me to bring it. So Liz was wonderful enough to drive me to church every Sunday, and to every like event that we would have, like a church picnic or anything really that I wanted to go to. She would pick me up at my dorm and drive me here, which she definitely did not have to do. And that was one thing that really like drew me here, was that people genuinely really wanted to help me and make me feel welcome. And
LittleSteps daycare. You started working there about how long ago?
About 2 years ago, it's almost been 3 now. I started working here in 2018, September of 2018. And I love it there. I love the kids. I love just the people I work with. Tammy's awesome. I love children's ministry. It's one of my passions. So just being able to be with the kids all the time is
What are
just
some of your
really fun.
responsibilities down there? What do you do?
I am like a floater, so I'm not in like one specific classroom. They kind of use me where they need me. But most of the time I'm in the 1-year-old's room or the 4-year-old's room. And I also do the chapels here on Wednesdays, which I actually just started doing last week.
Right, you just
So-
picked that up. Pastor Mike has retired.
Mm-hmm.
He used to run the chapels for the daycare. You started doing that not just because we needed someone to do it, but you're also serving an internship here. That's because of your major at Grace College. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what your major is and also a little bit about the internship?
I'm majoring in youth ministry and minoring in teaching and biblical studies. So as part of my education process requirements, I have to do an internship at a church or some sort of ministry. And I really wanted to do it here at Redeemer just because I didn't want to leave here. I love the people and I've grown to just really love it and kind of find a home here. I do the chapels, like I mentioned. I help and work with confirmation. And I'm also supervised by pastor work, which is amazing. I love them both. They're so wisdom filled and just give me so much like encouragement and knowledge about what they know about ministry and what they've learned. And they give me a lot of tips and pointers on how to lead Bible studies. So I absolutely love working with them. And I also help you and Hallie out with the youth group.
So pastor work and Ann work are both helping you with this internship. There's
Right.
a wealth of knowledge there. Pastor work is a great mentor for you in this internship, and Ann's got a lot of experience both biblically and with teaching. They've got to be a great help to you.
They are.
And I know Hallie and I love having you assist us with the youth group. How do you like working with our youth?
I love it. Probably my favorite thing that I do here, if I'm being completely honest. They're amazing individuals. You parents, I genuinely love working with your kids, teaching them Bible studies. They're so just curious about everything. The questions they ask just blow my mind. They're very, very knowledgeable. They're very smart. They're so funny. Like, they're probably the funniest kids I've ever met. So you should be really proud of them. I know I am, and they're just incredible. I absolutely love working with you.
You're a senior
Yes.
at Grace. This is your last year at Grace, so that probably means that this will be your last year here at Redeemer.
Yeah.
Any plans, goals for your future once you leave us?
It's so hard to say right now just because everything in this world's so uncertain about, where to go and everything. But I would love to work in a church one day, but I know that sometimes those jobs can be minimal or scarce. So I guess another major dream of mine would be to work in like a parachurch ministry or organization, whether that be a camp or like a Boys and Girls Club, YMCA association. I've done those in the past. I've worked at camps before, both as a counselor and as like an office assistant, and I'm pretty good at both of those things. I really loved it. So I really don't know. It really just depends on what God has planned for me. I don't know what that is yet, but I'm hoping that He'll guide me in the right direction. I know He will, and I'm really excited to see where He leads me after I graduate.
Following His plans is always more successfus because
Yes.
when we follow our plans and not His, that's usually not the path that we should be on.
Right.
So you've got a great attitude. Follow him. This has been an interview with Aaliyah Milliken. We'll be sorry to see you go when you do, but we know there's great things for you out there, and you'll be very successful wherever you end up.
Thank you.
Thank you.